Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another movie review, and today's movie is somewhat of a guilty pleasure of mine. In fact, the whole series is. I like that it's connected to the source material very loosely, we'll say, because it gives you more of an expanded universe on the games, and, well, today it's Resident Evil Afterlife. To be honest, it was an okay movie, but, I'll give you the positives and negatives from my review and let you decide for yourself if you want to see it. Let's start with a plot summary. After a one-woman assault on the Umbrella Corporation's fortress, Alice's superhuman abilities are neutralized. Now fleeing the undead masses created by the T-virus, Alice reunites with Claire Redfield and her brother Chris. Together they take refuge with other survivors of an abandoned prison, where a savage zombie mob stands between them and the safety of Arcadia. Escaping these bloodthirsty mutants will take an arsenal, but facing off with Albert Wesker and the Umbrella Corporation will take the fight for survival to a new level of danger. So you'd think, by reading this, it'd be some awesome battle, big, fights between humans and zombies. That's the kind of what I expected. And that's nowhere near what we got. As for my thoughts on the movie, the plot itself was pretty weak in my opinion, but it had its moments. One thing I liked is that you didn't necessarily need to see the previous films to understand what was going on here, because they had flashbacks throughout the entire movie that linked this one to the previous one, so you really didn't even have to see the one that came before this. Now for the positives and negatives of the film. The acting was pretty decent, all things considered. I felt Ali Larter, Kim Coates, which I believe is how you pronounce his name, and Boris Kodjoe, I think. They all turned in great performances. Kim Coates, again, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of his last name. I loved him in Sons of Anarchy. He is a great actor, and here it's just very easy to hate him. He plays the ultimate bad guy in my opinion. He is sarcastic. You hate him because he's such like a sleazeball, and in all honesty, the fact that he played a movie producer perfectly fit that character. The action sequences were good, and the special effects were outstanding looking. There were some moments where the special effects, like this was definitely a special effects movie for me. You would nowhere near go to see this movie for the story, to be perfectly honest. But there were scenes like when Alice is jumping off the top of the prison, you see the zombies flying, and there's explosions everywhere. That was awesome. The zombies and other monsters were varied, which did help it not be repetitive. Zombie movies, for as much as I love them, most of the time they're more or less the same, where you just have either the shambling zombie or they're all fast runners. This had a little bit of both, and it had other monsters, and it had this giant with an axe. I can't even remember what they're called from the game. It's been so many years since I played Resident Evil. But it really did help the movie break it up instead of just being zombies, just regular zombies everywhere. The story took some turns where I didn't expect it to. In some ways, Chris's plan makes fun of the typical zombie film. We're going to get in the big tank and we're going to go out of here. Well, if you've seen the movie, you know how well that works. Now for the negatives. I really felt that this didn't do much to develop the plot in any way for most of the film, and that it was all just crammed into the end of the movie. There is a little bit of story in the beginning, a lot in the end, but in the middle there's so much dead space that it just, at points, gets boring, to be honest. And a lot of the movements in the film felt stupid and pointless, and that is just completely just me being honest. A lot of the things that were done in this movie, I just don't know why they even bothered. It's like scenes where a zombie breaks in. How do they react? They run. It's just stupid. But overall, it's not a terrible movie. If you're a fan of the franchise, you might want to give it a watch. If you're just looking for a cheap popcorn movie, it might be passable. But if you're looking for hardcore, like, zombie action, you can definitely find it somewhere else. So, I'd probably give this one 3 stars. And that's being generous. But overall, it's not terrible. I'll say that. It was entertaining at moments, so Resident Evil Afterlife, you might want to check it out. So, that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys with the next one.